In our coverage of Gabby Petito's disappearance, we learned about another mystery in the same area where Gabby and Brian Laundrie stayed on that trip. Crystal Turner and Kylan Schulte, a newlywed couple, found brutally murdered at a campsite in Moab, Utah. That was also 5 months ago. And tonight, there are still few answers, no arrests, and no named suspects. In a moment, I'm going to be talking with the private investigator, Jason Jensen, about what he has learned in this case. But first, loved ones want to keep the attention and the pressure on the case, including Crystal's cousin, speaking tonight for the first time.
Family and friends still can't believe they're gone.
What were these women like?
Just fun and goofy and daring and brave, and they just live life to the fullest. Anytime you saw them, they were just happy and friendly and warm, and they just made you feel good.
Loved ones waiting on answers into what happened to Crystal Turner and Kylan Schulte.
We're trying to be patient, and we know that each day, hopefully, we get a little closer.
The newlyweds lived at a wilderness campsite 45 minutes outside of town. They enjoyed being on their own. Friends described them as fun, brave, and living life to the fullest. Until one night when a family friend, Cindy Sue Hunter, says there was a red flag.
Well, they had told their friends at the bar, this is my understanding, it could be different, that there was a creeper dude, and he was too close.
The night of August 13th, the couple went to Woody's Tavern, then visited with friends who begged them not to go back to the campsite. It's the last time they were seen alive.
Even though they made the offhanded comment, if we were murdered, it was him. I don't think they thought that was ever going to happen, or I don't think they would have went back up there.
When days went by with no word from them, Kylan's dad, out of state, called Hunter, asking if she could help.
Well, I drove around for almost 5 hours, stopping people, showing them pictures, asking if they'd seen them, telling them, please, if you see this car or these girls, call the police.
But some intuition drove her a little bit further. That's when she spotted the couple's car and nearby made a horrifying discovery.
I saw a body in the water, and I immediately turned away. I didn't want to know that was a body there. I wanted to be wrong.
A medical examiner's report revealing the women were shot multiple times.
Well, at first I didn't think it was real. I thought there'd been a mistake.
Fast forward to today, despite a number of tips, search warrants, even persons of interest, there are still no answers on who's responsible. At one point, rumors speculated that Brian Laundrie could be a suspect, but that theory has since been ruled out.
Their campsite. Over here, somebody had a campfire ring.
Salt Lake City private investigator Jason Jensen has spent months looking into the case.
We've seen tragedy this year, tragedy like we've never seen before in Moab.
And although the Moab Police Department is not involved in the investigation, Assistant Chief Braden Palmer admits it's left people on edge.
It's safe to say that the community is concerned.
But 5 months later, Crystal and Kylan's loved ones remain desperate for answers, hoping a killer who is still out there is finally brought to justice.
You would want someone to come forward for your family member. So do it for hours if you know something.
Private investigator Jason Jensen is joining us live tonight to talk about the case. Jason, as always, we appreciate your time. Are you any closer to narrowing in on the person responsible for their murders?
You know, it sure feels like it, but I think the reality is we're still looking at persons of interest. We haven't really narrowed down to somebody that stands out greater than somebody else. So to answer your question, we're still looking, and we need more of the public input to try and nail down who this person was by asking for dash cam footage or drone video or something like that that can identify this individual's vehicle in the area so that, you know, law enforcement has someone to narrow down to.
So give me some more specifics of exactly what you're looking for, the time frame from the public, anybody who may have been in that area near the time.
Sure, just like the Grand County Sheriff's Office has identified recently, as of yesterday when they released a recent press release, we've narrowed down the date of the death to be August 14th, specifically before daylight, in my opinion, because the night that they were at Woody's Tavern and they were asked not to go back to camp was late on the 13th. So by the time they would have arrived to camp would be about 1 a.m. on the 14th. So given their attire at the time, they were likely already in bed, ready to, suck in for the night. Next thing you know, this terrible event takes place. And they, their bodies were literally dragged into this little irrigation ditch, and their bodies were found 4 days later. So very tragic. It's not like an urban setting where you have neighbors, ring cameras, doorbell cameras, things like that can identify a suspect's vehicle. Here, we're hoping that satellite images or dash cam footage or drone video, since there's a wedding reception area nearby, somebody probably has video of a distant shot of this campsite where, this killer's vehicle is plainly in sight.
Do you have access to that satellite imagery that you're looking for?
We've asked several companies and they've come forward with what they have. Much of it is way too far skyward, so you can't really get good detail of the details you would need to see a vehicle. But we know that we haven't hit every one of them. Some of them have proprietary rights to it, and so we're hoping to find somebody that has that information so that they can tell us what the cost would be to get it from this private entity.
I know you're limited in what you can share in some of the details of your investigation, but of those persons of interest that right now you have on your list, are these people still local in Moab, or are they transient in other places?
Some are, and literally some of them that have come to our attention were visiting at the time. So, we're getting a lot of national attention because there are more people that visit Moab than actually reside there. So we're getting information from all around the country and in some outside countries as well.
Well, I know that you don't want this case to go cold, and neither do the families of Crystal and Kylan. It is important that we get some answers. Jason, I always appreciate you coming on and giving us any new information you have. We'll be checking back in with you. Thank you, as always.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.